I met Stephen at the Yom HaShoah event in Hyde Park, and he wrote a very, very special song and sang it with the JLGB. And many Jewish online magazine viewers have asked me to get in touch with Stephen and find out about his story. And so thank you for joining Jewish Online Magazine, Stephen.
It's my pleasure. Very nice to be here.
Please tell us your story.
Where shall I start? Where do you want me to start?
Stephen, we briefly chatted before. You've written some football songs.
Yes. Well, I've been a singer-songwriter for many, many years. I started with a little plastic ukulele when I was about 9, and I'll tell you, I wrote my very first song for my local Cubs. I had to win my entertainer's badge. So I wrote a song with this little plastic ukulele, and I performed it on a stage when I was about 9 years old, and I got my badge, which was great. So that was the first song I wrote. And then a few years later, when I was about 15, I'll give you the little background, there was a song competition on television. It was a program called Come Here Often. It was rather like Blue Peter. It was the ITV version. And they wanted songs. So I wrote a song, not a love song. I decided no love songs, because everybody wrote love songs. And I wrote a song about books. But the idea was you couldn't send the song in with the music. You could only send the words. And this had so many words, I never thought it would get anywhere. But it had a novelty sort of tune to it when I actually... They eventually wanted to hear the tune. And I was on the programme, and it was rather like the Opportunity Knocks. You had lots of people there.
Huey Green.
The song, Huey Green. And I actually, in the end, I came about 8th. Schools voted, and I went to the Wembley television studios, and I got my very first royalty check, 5 guineas, from Reader Fusion Television, actually, as it happened. So that was my first...
We won't give away our ages. We won't.
We won't. So I've been writing for a long, long time. And then, as you say, the football songs, I've written a few football songs.
Do you have to like football in order to write a football song?
I think it helps. I think it helps because you get the feeling, you know what the crowd wants, and you know really how to express yourself. But I've written about 5 songs. I've written for Luton Town Football Club, Queen's Park Rangers, and Spurs. All the songs became official songs, played at the ground.
And the song that you wrote for Yom HaShoah.
How could it be the world was blind? Was no one there to make a stand? On this day, hear us pray, our prayers go out to you. The Yom HaShoah Yikatehu. On this day, hear us pray, our prayers go out to you. The Yom HaShoah Yikatehu.
Yes, I've written 2 sort of what I would call Jewish-themed songs. One was called This Land, which was about Israel. Another one I'd written during the Soviet Jewry problems when the Jewish family was split up, called Why. That was a few years ago, and that was used, again, a very sort of strong song. And then, fortunately, the problem's no longer there, so the song is sort of just there, but nobody sings it anymore. And I always felt I wanted a trilogy. And I had the idea that I wanted to do something for the Holocaust. So I had a particular tune that I had written that I wanted to redo the words for, and it sort of just came to me.
Never again, never again, hear our voice tonight. Never again, never again, knowing wrong from right.
What makes a great songwriter?
That's a very interesting one. With 8 notes, you've got to try and be original. And believe it or not, you can still come up with brand new variations of those eight notes. And I think that the music has to sort of somehow relate to people, and the words, but sometimes the words don't matter. It's the tune. Sometimes it's the tune and not the words. It's just a magic combination. It is. I don't know the answer to it. All I know, I'm very pleased that I can still write the songs.
And you are award-winning as well.
Yes. The song "This Land," which was written for Israel, was. I entered a World Jewish Songwriting Competition, which was in Canada, and there were 300 entries worldwide. And I flew over with my wife because I got into the final. There were 12 in the final, and there was a full orchestra, about 1,000 people in the audience, and it was in fact a Eurovision Song Contest Jewish style. We went to the final. I performed the song live, and they were announcing the winners, and they said, and there was one particular very, very nice Yiddish man who was so popular in Canada amongst the Jewish people in Canada, and he sang a very nice song, and I wasn't third, I wasn't second. I thought, that's it, and they said, and now from all the way across, I thought, that's it, it's not me, from England, Stephen Melzack, and I won. And I then, of course, as you do, you sing the song again, so relaxed.
A very proud moment for you.
It was, I would say, until Yom HaShoah, the pinnacle, the most wonderful, wonderful experience to actually win a major song competition with your own song, singing it yourself. It was fantastic.
Would you say that's your biggest achievement thus far?
No, I think my biggest achievement was Yom HaShoah. That was something which was so unbelievable that has to be the greatest thing I've done, I think.
What, to have been asked or to have produced that song?
Both. To be able to sing the song at the ceremony in front of 500 people, of which many of them were Holocaust survivors,
yes.
was something that was just the most unbelievable feeling, and that has to be one of the most amazing things I think I've done with my music.
On this day, hear us pray, the flame still burns for you. Yom HaShoah Yikatevu. On this day, hear us pray, 6 million prayers for you. Yom HaShoah Yikatevu.
And you've got some other projects coming up for the community fun run.
Yes. In May later on, we've got the community Jewish fun run by Maccabi. All the Jewish charities participate, and for the last 3 years, I've been singing a song that I created called the Fun Run Song, and we sing it just before one of the runs. And I had a phone call last week to say, Stephen, I know you've been singing the song live. Would you like to do a video which we can pop on on YouTube and have it on our website, and everybody can learn the song and we can sing it at the fun run? So I said, okay. Hadn't recorded it yet, so I've gone into my recording studio. I'm about to produce the actual proper version of it, and all being well, and I'll hopefully see you there and everybody else at the fun run to all join in with the fun run song. The
community fun run is such an important occasion in the Jewish calendar, isn't it, Stephen?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a real cross-community Jewish fundraising event where everybody is there, every charity, everybody's, the fun they have there and the dedication. It's just incredible. It's very rare to have such a cross-community thing. This is wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And can I ask you, Stephen, have you ever sported in the run itself?
No. No, I'll sing my songs. I play football and tennis. That's my sporty bit. But I like to contribute my music. That's the way I like to assist.
And just finally, Stephen, can you give any advice to budding songwriters?
Yes.
What advice would you give to them?
Write from the heart. Don't try and copy anybody else. Try and be a little bit original. Experiment, but just let it flow. Don't think too much. The more you think about it, it's not going to be good. Let it come naturally, and you can succeed as well.
Stephen Melzack, award-winning songwriter, thank you ever so much for joining George and Mike.
Thank you very much.
Looking back at yesteryear, living in a world of fear, never had a place to call our own. Wandering through the world so wide, fighting only to survive, hoping that one day we'll